Listen folks, I'm gonna tell you something that nobody knows better than me, and that's the story of how we, the United States of America, got Alaska. It's a big, beautiful story, believe me. And let me tell you, we got a heck of a deal with that one. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, Russia owned Alaska. That's right, folks, the same Russia that we have to keep an eye on today. They owned it for over a century, and it was a pretty remote and cold place, not much going on up there. But then, in the mid-1800s, things started to change. You see, there was a big gold rush in California, and people started heading west to strike it rich. And as they were heading west, they started to realize that Alaska was on the way. Now, at first, nobody really cared about Alaska. But then, some smart folks started to realize that Alaska was actually a really valuable piece of real estate. It had all sorts of resources, like timber and fish and, of course, gold. So, in 1867, the United States decided to make a deal with Russia. We bought Alaska from them for $7.2 million. Now, let me tell you, that might not sound like a lot of money these days, but back then, that was a fortune. Now, a lot of people thought that this was a crazy deal. They thought we had just wasted our money on a frozen wasteland. But let me tell you, those people were wrong. Dead wrong. Because Alaska turned out to be one of the best deals in American history. Within a few years, we had struck gold up there, and we were making a killing. And not just gold, but also other resources like timber and fish. And let me tell you, folks, Alaska is still paying off today. It's one of the most important states in the Union, with a thriving economy and some of the most beautiful natural scenery you've ever seen. And it's all thanks to that great deal we made back in 1867. But here's the thing, folks. We didn't just buy Alaska, we also bought something else. Something that a lot of people don't know about. We bought the Bering Sea. That's right, the Bering Sea, one of the most important bodies of water in the world. Now, you might be thinking, what's so important about the Bering Sea? Well, let me tell you. The Bering Sea is one of the most productive fishing grounds in the world. It's home to all sorts of fish, like salmon and halibut and crab. And let me tell you, folks, we've been making a killing off that sea ever since we bought it. It's been a major source of income for American fishermen for over a century. And it's all thanks to that great deal we made with Russia. But here's the thing, folks. It wasn't just about the resources. It was also about the strategic value of Alaska. You see, Alaska is right on the border with Russia. And back in the day, Russia was a major threat to the United States. So, by owning Alaska, we were able to keep an eye on Russia. We were able to make sure that they didn't try anything funny. And let me tell you, folks, that's still important today. Russia is still a major threat, and we need to be able to keep an eye on them. But here's the thing, folks. Alaska is more than just a strategic asset. It's also a great place to live. It's home to some of the most hardworking, independent, and resilient people you'll ever meet. And they've been an important part of the fabric of this country for over a century. In fact, Alaska has a rich history and culture all its own. It's home to many indigenous people who have lived there for thousands of years. And let me tell you, folks, their traditions and way of life are something to be celebrated. Now, I know some people might still think that buying Alaska was a crazy idea. But let me tell you, folks, it was one of the smartest things this country ever did. We got a great deal, and it's paid off in so many ways. So the next time you're in Alaska, take a moment to appreciate the beauty and richness of that great state. And remember that it's all thanks to the great deal we made back in 1867. We got Alaska, we got the Bering Sea, and we got a lot more than that. We got a great country, and we're proud to call Alaska one of our own. Thank you, folks. You know, folks, Alaska has been a real treasure trove of natural resources since we bought it from Russia. and two of the biggest resources we've found up there are gold and oil. Now, the gold rush in Alaska was something to behold. It started in the late 1800s, not long after we bought the territory from Russia. People from all over the world flocked to Alaska, hoping to strike it rich. And let me tell you, folks, some of them did. Alaska turned out to be one of the richest gold-producing areas in the world. And that gold rush helped to put Alaska on the map and bring attention to its many other resources. But gold wasn't the only thing we found in Alaska. In the 1960s and 70s, we started to discover vast reserves of oil on the North Slope. And let me tell you, folks, that changed everything. The discovery of oil in Alaska was a game-changer for our country. It made us less dependent on foreign oil, and it helped to create jobs and drive economic growth. And let me tell you, folks, we're still reaping the benefits of that discovery today. But it's not just about the economic benefits. The oil industry in Alaska has also been a major source of innovation and technological advancement. We've developed new ways to extract oil from the frozen tundra, and we've done it in a way that's safe and responsible. Now, I know that there are some people out there who are skeptical of the oil industry. They think that it's bad for the environment and that it's not sustainable. But let me tell you, folks, we're doing everything we can to protect Alaska's natural beauty and resources. We've invested in research and development to find new ways to produce oil that are cleaner and more efficient. And we've worked closely with the people of Alaska to ensure that their land and way of life are respected and protected. And let me tell you, folks, that's what makes America great. We're always looking for new ways to innovate and improve, while also respecting our natural resources and the people who depend on them. So the next time you're in Alaska, take a moment to appreciate the many resources that this great state has to offer. From gold to oil to fish and timber, Alaska is truly a treasure trove of natural wealth. And it's all thanks to that great deal we made with Russia back in 1867. Thanks, folks.